Okay, so today I'm going to teach you how to build a functioning website using WordPress, which is the most predominant web hosting uh, platform in the world. The majority of websites are built and designed and hosted on WordPress. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. Look, it's really important in my belief that every single agent have their own personal website. Yes, I get that companies will provide you with a website, or brokerages will provide you with a website. I get that you may have a lead generation website through one of the real estate lead companies. They may provide you for a website. But I believe that every single agent should have a website that's specific to them, controlled by them, and yes, even built by them, because it's something that you can utilize to implement a host of marketing and branding activities that all funnels and all drives consumers back to you. Besides, here's the other thing. Typically, when you meet or you interact with a prospective client, first thing they're going to do is they're going to Google you. They're going to look you up. And so just having a website that hosts your videos, your instructional videos, your reviews, and all of that information in one place that's controlled by you is a powerful, powerful, powerful tool. So let's get started. Now, I just want to be really clear. What we're attempting to do is to create a website that is very similar to the lead generation site that we already use. Let me show you. The lead generation site that we use is Find Your Haven Home. So all of you have an extension like jody.findyourhavenhome, etc. But we want to make our site look very, very similar to this site, and I'll tell you the reason for in a moment. Now, I built Haven Real Estate Group, showing you the techniques that I'm about to show you, to mimic that site, so that when someone's clicked on buying in the Spokane area, for the user experience, it's seamless. It seems like they're going right to a page within your site, which is what they're doing. However, the user experience isn't like a jumbled, they're moving from one site to the next. For them, it feels like they're still searching for homes within that site. And if they log in or they created a login, that lead information goes to you. So again, very, very similar looking sites. And I would recommend that to start with, that you build out your site to look very similar to this. And there's going to be a lot of advantages to you with respects to taking the traffic that you drive to your site and then being able to continuously and automatically engage with them. That's the whole purpose of designing the site. And we're going to take what will feel like some detours and some left turns, but just stay with me. If you just do this step by step and build it exactly how I'm going to show you, later you can come back, because you'll be a little bit more familiar with how to use the tools and such. Later you can come back and make some edits to it and sort of add your own creativity to it. But for now, don't try to get creative until you've mastered the technique for how to put this together. Okay, and just follow it step by step. Hit pause when you need to and take a break. Hit rewind when you need to in order to go back through something that you don't quite understand. But if you just walk through this process slowly but surely, by the end of it, you're going to have a fully functioning website. Okay, so first thing that I'm going to have you do is just in your Google search bar, go to realestatebrandingstore.com. This is a platform through GoDaddy that I own. But the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to look for a domain name, right? That's the www dot, whatever that is. I recommend, I've used for myself, Robert Henry Homes. I recommend that you use your name in association with, it could be Robert Henry Real Estate, could be, in this particular instance, I'm going to search for Robert Henry Coaching, since I no longer actively do real estate. I don't actively work with clients. What I do within the real estate companies that we own is I do performance coaching. So for the purposes of today, I am going to purchase Robert Henry Coaching. So when you do a search for a domain name, you're going to notice that you've got the ability to search for the domain name that you're looking for. Wherever possible, you want the .com extension. There's a lot of different reasons behind this, but .com still has the most searchability of any of the other extensions, so you want to use .com wherever possible. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to the cart. This is going to have me set up an account, which is what you are going to do. There are going to be some there's going to be some characteristics that you're going to need to, some add-ons that you're going to need. But you can see this is $12.99, or this is, what is the price there? I'm not going to do domain ownership protection. Let's go continue to the cart. Okay, so this is going to be for business use. And we are going to say, I am a citizen of the US. Continue to checkout. Okay, so now it's going to want to create it's going to want to create an account for us. Okay, so I'm just going to delete that. I don't want .us. I want roberthenrycoaching.com. I'm going to go ahead and do 2 years. So my subtotal is $17.24. So we'll go ahead and hit checkout. And now it's asking me to sign in. So I already have an account under Real Estate Branding Store, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign in. But in your case, you'll create an account. Okay, so now I'm just going to complete that purchase. Click on WordPress. What we're going to do is we're going to choose the WordPress Deluxe. So we're going to go ahead and add that to the cart. We're going to go ahead and pay for 12 months. We're going to add an SSL certificate. And I actually like to add website security. I actually have had a website hacked. So I'm going to add all of those things. And we're going to say continue. Now, I'm doing all of these at 12 months. You can go 1 month, 3 month, whatever the case may be. So just go in accordance to what you are most comfortable with. But you want the deluxe WordPress website. You want website security, and you want a standard SSL. SSL means when you go up to a website, when it has this lock key, that means that information that a user would submit on your site, which then has to travel from their computer through several servers to another computer, what that lock means is that while that information is traveling from one point to the next, it's encrypted. So you want to have that on your site. Otherwise, if you visited a site that doesn't have SSL security, then what happens is it says that your information is not protected. So that could drive consumers away. So we've got all that. Now I'm going to go ahead and go to checkout and save and continue. Okay, and then complete the purchase. Okay, so at any time you can go up to your name. As you see here, this will take you to your account, and then go to My Products. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to jump in on the domain name that we picked. In my case, it's roberthenrycoaching.com. And then now what we are going to do is we're going to go ahead and build our new site. Okay, so we're on Managed WordPress, and we're going to just click on that Managed WordPress, and we're going to set that up. So this will take a few moments. You just kind of have to be patient and allow the WordPress to be integrated with your domain name. Go back to my account, come over here to My Products. So here's what I want you to do. Just come to the main screen. You're going to go to My Products. You should see your new domain name there, and what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down to Managed WordPress. What you're going to see is this Deluxe managed WordPress. Okay, and so we're going to go ahead and set that up. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do manual WordPress setup. Okay, so you're going to create a username. Okay, so I'm going to use Robert Haven Real Estate, and we're going to use a password that I can actually remember. Okay, so this is my password help there. So we're going to choose North America, and it'll just take a few moments to set up the dashboard. Okay, so now we are all set up. We've got the WordPress that has been all set up, and so we are going to explore the dashboard. All right. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and set it up with the domain, and we're going to choose the domain that we have purchased. Okay, so you'll get a little message right here that says success, and we're ready to go. So let's go now to settings. Okay, and so what we can do is now go to edit site. Okay, so after a moment, what will happen is that you'll be able to see the back end of your website. If you want to see what it actually looks like, just click on visit site. And so this is what is currently visible. If you were to type in this domain into a URL or into an address bar, this is what we would see. But we want to work on that, so we're going to go back to our dashboard here. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to deactivate a lot of the plugins that come standard with website with managed WordPress. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to plugins. Okay, we're going to click that. Now come over to installed plugins. So this just has quite a bit that are automatically logged in, that are automatically included with your WordPress. We are going to click all of them, and then what we're going to do is we're going to hit deactivate and apply, and then the next thing that we're going to do as soon as that is done is we're going to now delete and hit apply. So that will get us down to bare bones basics. You want your website to be as clean as possible, and so that's what we're working on, is we're going to make this just as clean as possibly can be. And now we're ready for the next step. So if we go back to our dashboard, we can see that we just have a nice clean back end here that we can get started from. Okay, so now we're going to do some cleanup functions on the site, and what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to settings and then over to permalinks. So as it stands now, anytime that you add anything to your site, it's going to have the month and the day and then the text here. What we're going to do instead is we're going to tell WordPress that when we add a page, that we simply want it to be the name of the page that we're adding. So just go ahead and click that there and hit save changes. And once you've saved that, just move back to your dashboard. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to change the title and tagline to our site. What do I mean by that? If I right click and open in a new tab, this is actually going to show what the site looks like so far. This is your title, and then this is your tagline. So typically what we're going to do is the name of the business, and then we're going to put in a tagline here. So let's go back and show you how we're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to add the title and tagline. The way we're going to do that is just right click on visit the site, and that's going to take you to here, so where you can actually see what your site looks like so far. We're going to click customize, and we're going to wait for that to load, and then we're going to go to site identity. And so what you're going to name it is, you've got to have the name of the brokerage, Haven Real Estate. And then now what you're going to add is my recommendation for both SEO purposes and for when you add a blog or you add a page. My recommendation is that you use the town that you're in. So for example, I primarily work out of Spokane, and so I would say Spokane Realtor Robert Henry. Okay. Now there's also some other aspects that you can do with this. We recommend that you use the Haven logo, etc., but we're not going to go into that just yet. For now, just go ahead and put in the site identity and hit publish. Okay, and so now you can see that this is what, looking at the website, the way you go to that is just click on visit site. Okay, but I'm going to maintain this tab open. You can see that this is what the main page of the website looks like. So in order to get further, we're going to have to install a theme to the website. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come back to our dashboard, and we're going to come over here to appearance, and then click on themes. We need to add new, and then what we're going to type in is Astra. Okay, make sure that it's Astra, not Astral, and we're going to go ahead and hit install. Okay, and then we can go ahead and hit activate. Give that just a moment. And now we've got that new theme activated, so we can right click, open that in a new tab, and you can see that this is going to make it look a little bit different. Okay, and so this is what it looked like before, and this is what it's going to look like now. So let's go back to that dashboard. Okay, so now we're going to add a plugin that's going to make your life a lot easier. So go ahead and go to plugins. You can click on that or just simply hover over it, and then you're going to go to add new. And the plugin that we're looking for, plugin is literally like it sounds. It's just a module that you add that will make your website functional, add some functionality to your website. So what we're looking for is starter. It's called starter templates. And so you're going to go ahead and this is by Brainstorm Force. You can see 382 5-star reviews. So we're going to go ahead and install that now. And we'll wait for a moment for it to do that. This is going to give us the ability to do things very quickly. So we're going to go ahead and hit activate. Okay, so now that that is installed, now what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to appearance and click on starter templates, and this is going to give you the ability to utilize some page builders, but clearly the best is Elementor. So we're going to go ahead and click on Elementor. I would recommend eventually that you upgrade Elementor to Elementor Pro, but for the time being we'll just work with that. So what this gives you the ability to do is there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of starter templates that you can utilize for your individual web pages, like your about page and so forth. Okay, so this just gives you the ability to add a page very, very easily. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and choose this mountain uh, appearing site. What this is going to do is it's going to import all of the settings for this pre-built site. And then we can go in and change some of the settings. But this is literally like the fastest way to do this. So we're going to go ahead and import complete site. And there's some options that you'll have to select there. And we're going to just import all of that. So we're going to go ahead and click that. And we'll wait for that to go ahead and okay, so you may have to import it a couple of times. The first time that I did it, I got an error message. No big deal. Just go back through the steps and do it again. But let's go ahead and look at what your site looks like so far. So you can see it's got that mountain in the background there. And so it's just got some things that you can use to quickly move forward. Okay, it's got your home, about, services, and contact. Now, ultimately, we're going to add, buying and selling, but this is basically the layout. Okay, we're going to go in and delete pages. So we're going to go back to our dashboard. And we've got some of these pages here that we're not going to use or we're not going to need. So we're going to learn how to add or delete pages. So going back to our dashboard here, what we're going to do is come up here to pages. We'll look at all pages. And you can see that there is a sample page. Let's just go over here to view. I'm going to right click and open that in a new tab. And so this is just basically a useless page that they've got as a sample page in here. So we are going to delete that. And the way we're going to do that is we simply hit trash. That's going to move that page into our trash folder. So we'll open up our trash folder here. And this is where we can permanently delete. And so next what I'm going to do is show you how to add pages. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to add a page, and to do that we're just going to simply hit add new. Now we're going to create a selling a home page. Just go ahead and click out of this. And so we're going to call it selling. And what we need to do over here is just so you kind of understand what we're looking for here, we need we've got a transparent header that's part of this theme, and so we need to just enable that. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is go ahead and hit published, and we'll hit publish again. Now if you want to do some editing in this page, you simply come over here to edit with Elementor. So this will be your first experience looking at what this plugin does and how it makes your life much, much easier. So give this just a moment to load. You can see the loading block here. Okay, so we're shaping the website. This is what it looks like now. And then we're coming back here. So there's many things that you can do. You can see that this has elements. You can put in an image, a text editor. There's all sorts of things that you can do. You can select a structure. Like I said, there's just many, many things that you can do. You can also choose a template. So you've got a couple of spots to do that. The center one here will give you, you can save templates once you've created a page and you want a similar page. But this will give you lots and lots of different templates to choose from. So let's come out of here. But for now, we're just going to, so for example, if you wanted to put in a video, what I would do is go ahead and choose that section. So you've got now your section up here, and you would simply choose a video, add that video here, and it just makes it really, really easy. You add the link here, add the start time, you can choose whether or not to autoplay, all of those things. So, but let's go ahead and X out of that, and we are going to just update And we'll move on to this will become a much clearer as we move along. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add the pages, the primary pages to our website, the pages that you would see in navigation. So we just go new page, and just like in our Haven Real Estate Group site, we're going to have buying, selling, about, we're going to have blog, and then we're going to have a contact page, as well as down at the bottom, every site should have a privacy policy and a term of use. So we're going to add all of those, and you'll basically just mimic those from our site. So let's start with buying. We already have a selling page, but we'll start with buying, and we're going to come over here and we're going to enable that. And all we're going to do is just add the page. That's it. We'll come back later and add some content, but for now we're just doing adding the page. So we'll hit publish. And we'll give that just a moment. Okay, so it says buying is now live. And so we'll go ahead and exit out of that. And we'll go back to view pages. We're going to just add them one after another. So we've already added selling. Now we're going to add a new page called about. And again, just come down here and make that enabled and publish. So I'm just literally right in front of me, I have a list that I'm going down, adding the buying page. We already added selling. We're going to add a page for blog. So just click on the WordPress, go ahead and add a new page. We're going to add blog. This is going to make much more sense as we go in and we start filling out content. Okay, so don't worry about it if it makes sense or not right now. Just go ahead and add those pages. Okay, next is going to be a blog. So we're going to entitle this blog. Come down here and hit publish. You'll have to hit publish twice, as you've seen. Okay, now we're going to add a contact page. And next we're going to add a privacy policy page. And hit publish, publish again, and finally our terms of use page. The privacy page and the terms of use page have some legalese in them that is going to help you stay out of trouble should someone decide that they want to try to make you, liable for anything. Okay, and so that's a good stopping point there. Okay, so now we are going to go and do some work in the navigation of our website. And so if you come over here and just right click and visit site, you can see that this is how it looks now, and we are going to change this navigation setting. So the way we do that is just come over here to customize. Let that populate for a moment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to menus, and we're going to click on navigation. Okay, so currently you see that it's got home, about, services, contact. Okay, so we can reorder, we can add items, And so what we're going to do is we are going to actually delete some of these. And so let's go ahead and remove. We're going to remove the ones that we know we are not going to use. And actually, we are going to remove the home page also, because what we're going to do is just have that. We're going to have that where the logo, clicking on the logo does that. Okay. We're going to, for now, we'll keep the contact, but we're going to remove the services page. Okay, so now the only thing we have is contact, and what we're going to do is we're going to add items. And because we've already built those pages, what we're going to do is we're going to add buying. Okay, so we've add buying, then we're going to add selling, then we're going to add about, and we already have, we're going to add blog. Now blog is not capitalized, that's okay. You can come in and just change that here. Okay. And now what we're going to do is reorder the items. And so we want to bring contact all the way down. So we just bring that down like so. And so now we've got all of the titles that we want up here at the top, and we can click on done. So go ahead and click on publish. And you're done with that activity. Okay, the next step is that we want to create a white background for this navigation tab, okay, so that it looks most similar to the website that the lead generation site. Okay, so the way that we're going to do that is, by the way, so we're always working with either Customize or the WordPress dashboard. Okay, so in this case, let's go to the dashboard, so you start sort of getting familiar with how this all works. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go to our theme. Okay, so you're going to go to, under appearance, you're going to go to Astra options. That's the theme that we have plugged in. Okay, next thing you're going to do is click on header options. That'll open up a new tab here. And now we're going to get to work on enhancing our header. Okay, so we're going to go to, let's go to transparent header. Here we go. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to, for the menu, we're going to, this is the menu here. Okay, we're going to work on this menu here. So we're going to simply click, and for the link text color, we are going to select black. And so now it's turned all of this into black. Okay, and for background, we're going to choose white. Okay, so that's most going to look like what our other websites look like. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and hit publish. Give that a moment to publish. So now it'll stay like that. And now I'm going to show you where to get your logo. Okay, now in your Google Drive, so if you don't know where your Google Drive is, you're probably going to want to find that. Okay, when you go to Group Drive, if you scroll down, you're going to find Logos Updated 2020. Okay, now you're probably going to want to download some of these into a file, because I have several of these different logos and what have you. Now, I have access to the Google Drive on my computer. So what I'm going to do with my customization is I'm going to say change logo, and I'm going to upload a file. So I'm going to hit select file, and I'm going to go to my Google Drive. I'm going to go to shared drives here, group drive, and we're going to come down here to logos, and I'm going to choose the 235 by 100 logo. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and insert that. Now what you want to do is the alt text, you always want to put a description of whatever picture or image that you're putting in there. So Haven Real Estate Group. That's all you really need to put there. And we're going to, so it's check marked here, we're going to hit select. And it looks like gives us an opportunity to do a little bit of editing there. We want to have just enough of that there. And we're going to hit crop image. I want just a little bit there. So crop image. And so that's updating there. Take a moment to do that. Okay. And then now what we're going to do is just go ahead and change this image out as well. Okay, there that is there. Now, for a site icon, I actually have, that's the little favicon that sits there. So we have that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and upload. I'm going to select the file, and it's the favicon. So we'll go ahead and upload that. And we'll go ahead and hit select. And we can skip cropping. And so that's going to put that little image up at the top there. Okay. So now we can hit publish. Also, you can change the width of the logo. I would bring it down just a little bit, but you know, I mean, that's pretty large. I don't know that you need to have it that large. If you look over at Haven Real Estate Group Home, you know, it's not that large. So do whatever you feel like looks the best or represents the best. But there you go. Okay, so look at this. So now we have adjusted our top header there. We're going to go ahead and hit publish. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to change this button to be our contact button. Okay, and the way we're going to do that is we are simply going to just go ahead and X out of here. And let's go back to visit site. And we're going to go to customize. We're going to change this right here. So we're going to go to customize. And we're going to go to header. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to primary menu. And right now we have that that you've got a button. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to change that button text to contact. And what we're going to do is, because the page name is actually contact, we're going to change that to contact. Okay, so now you can come in here and you can customize the button. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and customize that style. So we're going to change the color. Now, so what we want to do is we want to change the color to either the blue or the orange, but where would you find what the color of that is? Because it's going to ask you for a background color. If we go select color here, it's going to give you a bunch of choices, but you can also change that color by utilizing this here. This is called a hex code. Okay, so I want to show you where you can find that. Okay, over again in that drive, group drive, logos updated. There's a PDF called Haven Colors. So if you want to just go ahead, we'll just open that up here. So if I wanted that, the blue color, you can see I'm just going to go ahead and copy that. You also have, there's another variation that you can use. It's called RGB. So if ever that comes up, you've got those codes here. Okay. So I'm going to go over here back to my customize. I'm going to just paste that, and that's going to give me that blue look there. Okay. So you can also change the hover color. And so if you want to get real creative, we can go ahead and change the color of the hover. And again, I'll come back here to logos and let's change it to the orange just so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, so come back over here. We're going to change the hover color. Keep the text the same, but we're going to select a color here. And what we're going to do is, let's see, background color. We'll say clear. And paste that in there. So now when you hover over it, it changes. So it just kind of keeps that theme consistent, those colors there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. Now we've got contact on here twice. So if you'll remember, the way we're going to do that is let's go ahead and go back and go back again. And if you'll remember, what we had, where we edited that was under menus. So we're going to go to our menus and we're going to go to our navigation menu. And what we're going to do is simply remove contact. So now we've got a very clean buying, selling, about, our blog, and then contact. And when they hit that contact, it'll take you right to the contact page. So let's go ahead and hit publish on that. And we've accomplished yet another aspect of our website. Okay, so this is what our site now looks like. And you'll notice that we've got this header down at the bottom. So we're going to work on that first before we do much else. But you can see we've got the logo over here, buying, selling, about, blog, and then the contact us that will take us to the respective pages. And now what we're going to do is we're going to edit that footer. So just hover over here to edit with Elementor, and we're going to do our site footer. So we're going to do a few things. And what you can see is we're actually looking at what the header looks like. So first things first, we're just going to come down here and I'm going to edit this. This is our copyright section. So you can see that we're over here. And what I'm going to do is just leave it as copyright 2020 Haven Real Estate Group and just go ahead and delete some of the this is powered by Haven Real Estate Group. Let's go ahead and delete that. Okay. And also I'm going to want to update I want to turn this black so there's some contrast. So I'm going to turn the text color white. What I'm going to do is come over here and go to background, and then background we will do black. Like so. Okay. And now we've got to come back and change that text. So we'll go back here to content and we'll change the text to white. So that looks really clean. And also what I'm going to do is go ahead and just center that there. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go ahead and hit update. Next thing that I want to do is come in here, and what I'm going to do is instead of editing these, so I like a pretty simple and clean footer. Matter of fact, if you come to Haven Real Estate Group and you come down to the bottom, this literally is our footer here. you can add this section also, but I prefer to do that just on the main page. So very, very clean footer. Okay, so we're going to go to your Elementor. I'm going to show you just a couple of things. One, I like to just change this. No, it looks like our changes didn't update, so let me come back and just do this again. We're going to change the text to white. Okay. And then remember, in advanced, we're going to come back here to background, and we're going to change that to black. Okay, and we'll hit update. So give that a moment to update. Also, if you remember, we're going to change that to center and go ahead and get rid of the powered by. I just don't think that's necessary to have that twice. And again, with the update. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a section just above this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break that into 3 sections. And I'm going to change the style of that, the background of that. I'm going to change to, let's see if I can do that as a group. Perhaps not. So what I'm trying to do is change that background to black. Background, here we go. And so we're going to go again with black. Okay, and now I'll do the same with this. Change that black background to black. Okay. Since I'm doing this repetitively, I'll just copy that. Do the same thing here. We'll go to style and turn that into black. Okay. Now, for the purposes of this, what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and add our logo. And so what I'm going to do is just drop that image into here, and we're going to choose our image by uploading. And remember, this is in the Google Drive. So go to my drive. Actually go into shared drives, group drive, and then logos. And so I'm going to use this transparent logo. And again, remember the alt text, Haven Real Estate Group. Now, if you had, and so I'm going to make this fairly small. Like I said, I want a really small. Let's go custom. And for height, I don't want it to be any more than 100. Let's see what that takes it at 50. Okay, that's perfect. I'd rather it be about somewhere about that. Now, what we're going to do, or what you can do later, is you could have your name turned into a logo. As a matter of fact, I would recommend that. Okay, we'll cover that in a later course as a part of your branding. But you could have your name turned into a logo, and then you could actually put that in there, and that looks really, really great. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add some text here, and so we're going to just add that text like so. And what we're going to do is these are going to be our site links. So you remember we had privacy policy, and then we also had terms of use. So we're going to go ahead and add those, and I am going to we're going to add the link of that, and the link is going to go to terms. So remember, terms of use, and we're going to hit apply. Okay, so that didn't work right, so that's okay. We're just going to highlight that again and /, hit apply, and privacy policy, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to link that, and then it's just / privacy policy. Okay, and then I like to put just a little, this is the symbol that's just above the enter key on your page, on your keyboard. Okay, so I want to center these, and I also want to ensure that the font is white. And so I'm going to take this slider and just move it up here to white. White is always FFFF. Update. And let's go ahead and do the same thing here. So that way that's nice and visible. Now, on this one, do something a little bit different. I want on every page, both at the top and at the bottom, that there's a contact button. So I'm just going to simply put button. And what we're going to do is create yet another contact. This is going to take us to / contact. We're going to center it. And now we've got some options to do with respects to the style of the contact button. Now, if you'll remember, the under the 2020 updated logos in your drive, I have the colors of our corporate colors, right? And so what you're going to do is we are going to go background color, and we're going to choose, we're actually going to put in, I'm going to put in the blue, which is 178799. Okay, and that turns that like so. Okay, the text color is going to be white, which is 0000, or I'm sorry, is FFFF. And then I like it when someone hovers over it if the background changes. And so you can accomplish that with, I believe that's in advanced. I am not finding that. That's weird. I'm not finding that. Okay, that's okay. We're going to skip that for now. Okay, but you can do some other things like in, I might come back here to privacy policy, and I don't like the way that it's at the top here. And so what I might do is just come over here and hit enter. I don't like that either. So let's see what we can do about that. Under advanced, we can unlink the values and we can move that down from the top just a bit. And so I kind of like the way that that looks. And we can also bring that up. So there's just a lot, there's so much that you can do with this website. It's really great. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and hit update. Now, you also want to take underneath this copyright, what you also want to do is put the primary address to the office. So for the Spokane office, it's 304 West Pacific. The state really likes to see this, by the way, guys. Okay, and because of this, the copyright info, I'm going to go a few spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to put that divider symbol and bring that 304, just to give it a little space in between. Okay, so we'll go update. And now I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. And this literally is what our header will look like. And then I'll show you how to get rid of this space in between it. Okay, so here's what our site looks like, and but I'm not happy with how this is turning out. I don't like this white space in between here. I don't really like our contact button. Privacy policy terms of use is fine, but I need to reduce this. So I'm going to go back up and I'm going to hit edit with Elementor. I'm going to work on that site footer again and wait for that to come up. And here's what I'm going to do. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this gap in between here. I really just don't like this gap. So I'm going to go to, let's see, I'm going to go to advance. And you can see that where this padding is coming from is from here. And so I'm just going to reduce that padding to 0. And we'll hit update. And also this, this logo is just coming out so large. For the time being, what I may do is choose a different image. I may just choose this smaller one, or I may just go ahead and edit image, which we can do. So, and I want that to be more like 50. So I'm going to hit scale. Let's hit update. See that I'm looking at dimensions right here. Hit update. And it shows that it updated. So I'm going to hit update again. And now let's visit the site one more time. Come down to the bottom. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, we've got our privacy. Now let's work on this. So again, edit the site footer. And see this little gap over here? I also don't like that gap. So we're just going to keep working on that. And it looks like that there is, see there's a padding of about 15 to the right. So we're going to eliminate that to 0. We're going to eliminate any padding on the bottom to 0. Okay. So now we'll come over here to contact. And I'm just going to work on this button a little bit more. I'm just not real happy with the appearance. We could make it medium, make it a little bit larger. Alignment is the center. Type of button. Well, let's look at the different types of buttons. That doesn't really seem to do much, so we'll leave it at default. Let's go to style. Border type, we can do Let's leave it as such. Border radius. We could change the radius just a little bit, make it a little rounded. Okay, I like that a little bit better. Don't really want to do anything with margins. And I don't really want to do anything with that. So let's make the borders just a little bit less rounded. Perhaps the text, perhaps the text we might make a little bit larger. Okay, so now we are going to, we've got our contact form. Now we're going to work on our main page. We're going to hit edit with Elementor. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to keep this really, really, really super clean. And we're going to get rid of a lot of the sections that are along here. And so we're going to literally just be getting rid of sections within here. Okay, all of these sections. So now all that's left is the main page or the main screen, and then our footer. Okay, and so let's go back and look at our home page here. So we've literally just got Haven Real Estate, a leading real estate firm since 2015. You can put whatever you want in that main page here. You might put just literally whatever you want there. I'm going to keep that nice and clean, and let's eliminate this. Let's right click and eliminate that, and let's just call that group, and we're going to make the size a little bit smaller. Like so. And that, guys, is really clean. So now what we want to do is do the background picture. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go to Style, and we're going to choose a different image. Again, like I said, I've got in the group drive, I've got some background images, and I'll include some more, but this is the home page that I use on Haven Real Estate Group. You can see the size of the file is 2560 by 1420. So I'm just going to go ahead and open that. And okay, and so just put in again, and we're going to say insert media. Okay, so I'm looking at the main page and looks pretty good, except what is this white space in between here? Let's go ahead and fix that. Remember, we go to edit with Elementor, site footer, and you'll notice around all of the sections that there's these, that when you highlight a section, there'll be a spot to edit or to adjust. So I'm highlighting this whole thing here, and if you can see in the center, you can see that I have an opportunity to edit the section. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and come over here, and I'm going to do background type, and I'm going to make the background black. That way everything is just nice and uniform. See what's happening there? That's filling out all the way there. And now there's still this section here, so same thing. I'll just come over here and come over to Style and background type, and then I'm just going to make that black. And we'll go ahead and hit update. And this whole thing is uniform. And remember, if we want to see what it looks like, I can just go over here to the URL and let's see how that looks. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I actually don't mind this line here, although it's likely a border around that bottom section. So if I fussed with it a little more, I could make some changes to that, but I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm pretty happy with the way that it looks. So I don't know that our buttons here, that we actually assign them where they need to go. So let's go ahead and work on that. So we're just going to hit, we could hit edit page, but we're going to hit edit with Elementor. And what I'm going to do is just simply work on this section here, and I'm going to tell it that I want it to go to buying. And over here, I want this to go to /. So that's going to be, it's telling it it's going to go to a link within our site that is our URL. For me, it would be roberthenrycoaching.com /selling. Okay. Later, we're going to edit that page, but for now, it's going to go to basically a blank page. So I'm going to come back over here to search, and I want to try to make the button just a little bit bigger. And so I use a, so let's go extra large. I think that's going to be about as big as we get out of it. And let's make that medium. Yeah, it's not really making that much of a difference, is it? So we're just going to leave that be. Okay, so our front page is pretty good, right about where I want it. Again, you could use a different background. Just make sure that it scales the way that you want it. Okay, so you've got all of these options here with respects to layout. I've got no gap, minimum height. By the way, you also want to see how this is going to lay out on mobile. And the way that because about 60-70% of your traffic is going to come from mobile phones. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to look at mobile, and just like on a phone, this is what this is going to look like. So it looks pretty good to me. Eventually you'll have the icon button here for your menu, but looks pretty good to me. I like it, and so we're just going to leave it at that. Let me come back here to my main page. Looks good. Real happy with that main page. So that concludes this element. What I'm going to show you in the next setup is how to set up some of this other stuff. We're going to go ahead and apply the privacy policy terms of use, but that's going to be in a subsequent video. For now, what I want you to do is get your site to where it's set up just exactly like this. I'm just fine if you want to come up with a different background picture that's more, play around with that a little bit, but at least you have the basics. And then what you're going to do as a part of your assignment is you're going to send this this link right up here. You're going to send that to me as a part of your assignment. Okay, guys, look forward to hearing your comments, and just slowly but surely go through this, and you'll do fine.